But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. The Lord said, if as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other. Again, like we mentioned about, God is the representative of a part of heavens. So it keep using let us. So it's a calling. It's calling. You have to get the permission or get the other heavens. They agree your action, right? And at the beginning, so okay, let us make a human. Let us. Those things all like he made a decision, and when he wants to take action, he needs not one power, not two power. It's a vastly big power, a lot of effort to make it. Also, that explains why language, we have so many language, like a different, total different, like a language, like in the structure. So some gods turn people's tongue this way, some people turn that way, because I saw those Sumer and the Latin and Hebrew, those English, Hispanic, those language, the change. At the beginning, actually, there is not much big difference. They turn the angle, add a little dot. I believe it's those separation or those called individualized. So I think the language, the change made a whole chaos, whole turmoil. It starts from the individual change, individual thing. So I don't think if a language or some like a group, they gradually happen. It gotta be done by the heavens. From suddenly people just do not understand at all. So, for example, little bit, that's what we understand. But if you say un poco, what's the un poco? And when you ask what's the un poco, and they try to explain, nothing will happen, right? And it's that's also another thing. Think about it. Why God always want to prevent human to get hold with heavens, because he want to keep his absolutely control. I think that's, as he said, he's the God. He would like to jealous. Yeah, he doesn't want any other people touch his project, and all the human, actually he's the leading project manager. So you don't want to touch it. It's my territory. That's kind of territorial character. Yeah, today just here. Let's do it till later. Notice at the beginning, God said, but. So it's totally it's turning, right? Because people, they try to communicate with heavens. Also, they want what? They wanted the name scattered over the earth. So what do they want to scatter? The name? Not just only the name, because that time the name represents something behind the name. They achieve something, they made something happen. So the way, the method they developed. So right here, God, but, which he totally overthrew or objection for this two end condition. The end is we communicated with the heavens. We're able to communicate with the heavens, and we can make our names shedded over the earth. But God doesn't like it. Above condition, above stem, God just, nope, totally denied. So the reason is the reason, okay, why he denied the reason is, first, it's action. Because after he saw the city and the tower, it's a sequence. It's a sequential things. Firstly, notice God is not the one just make decision quick. I think the city worthy for him doing that. Think about it. At the beginning, he hovering above the deep abyss, right? Hovering is a way of observation, thinking, designing process. So when he think about God, do you think God need to watch a city? You have to say like this, he's huge, he's everywhere. So why he still need that kind of use the human angle to do things? That means after his serious consideration, observation, then he analyzed the city, the design, the ways they do. Then he noticed, he just considered the tower, the tower building, whatever. After all consideration, he just denied the design. He doesn't like the design. Why? Because he said, if let them do things, right, there is nothing impossible for them can do. That sounds like this. They will kind of like a pose threat to heaven, to God, to heavens. I think like it sounds like really he's scared about the things human developed. Scared about it. And what he's scared about, I don't know. You are heaven, you are God. And you're scared of people can have the possibility to do whatever they think about it. So which means at this moment, I think the wisdom fruits start to develop within the human and show the trend. And I think that's just my thought. I thought it's possible like this. I thought it's possible like this. The city is a big zero, kind of circle, right? It's big circle. Then the tower is like a 1. So is that possible? Ancient time people already know 0 and 1. They already develop some kind of computer language within their life. It's not just our computer. A lot of things actually they use 0, 1 to represent. So I think maybe the AI, maybe the computer may lead us to approach to the truth, or may lead us to overthrow the heavens. Actually, I think yes, we do. We are on that path. The reason is, we speak one language. At the very far beginning, I already said yes, we do speak one language right now, because we have a translation, right? Through what? Through internet, through computer. And use what kind of language? 0 and 1. And doesn't matter what kind of language you speak. You can speak Urdu, you can speak Chinese, you can speak Japanese, whatever. We will understand each other eventually easy. Use some kind of app, so eventually people start to speak one language, break down God's curse. So that's, I think, God scared. We united, we speak one language, our thoughts start to communicate. That's He scared. So I think the most important thing is start to communicate one language. I think the wind chime start to agree what I said. It's harmony. Yeah, it's a good sign. Now I start to understand why God chose through language. Because language is the should I say this? Then, what we knew, what we experience, what we try to express is everything. Is one universe, one unique universe. So if everybody speaks one language, they are in one universe. Eventually they will have the mutual understanding, right? Even there is minor misunderstanding. But if you speak two languages, that means the universe, there are two universes. Even you try to communicate, there are still two universes. So when you diversify the language, you generate many small universes. And all those universes will grow, will die, will collapse together. They never really will pose any harm to what? To heavens. If it is one gigantic universe, it collapses with their universe, it will cause big damage. But if a small universe, means no harm to them. So that's another reason God wants separation. Even government, right now, the management method is they separate you. Separate your soul, separate your voice, separate your life, everything, made privacy, all those things. So eventually, we are like worthless. We are harmless. We are weak. That's all I understand. Also, another thing is, language is the easiest part to be penetrate. When we do things, right, we always follow the rule. Even God, even everywhere, it's a universal rule. You always try to find a less intrusive method. Less intrusive. So you use a finger can toggle the things to make a direction change. Why would you use a hand? If you can use one hand, why you use two hands, right? That's all like everywhere. So language is very easy because that time, Asian time, I remember like in Asian like a Qing dynasty, that's 2000 to maybe 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. The language is like this. Right now we understand the whole thing is totally different, right? That time is like da 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 zra zra. So that express, for example, it express autumn comes and the dew is heavy, right? Da 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 za za. But what if you toggle a little bit, call it da 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 zra zra? Just a little bit, and then people start to like because it's already consensus between people. Da 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 za za. Da 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 za za. What's da 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 za za? Then the guy tried to explain da 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 za za. Nobody knows. And it's misunderstanding. Then another guy maybe did the same thing. Da 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 da. And people even more confused, right? And the three small universes start to collapse, start to hitting on each other. Then what happens? Arguments. And eventually they say, okay, you have accent. No, mine is correct. That's the proper way to express. Gradually, more and more people involve this universe like that. So nothing can be done. So that's why I gradually understand what's the less intrusive method in the language is the universe. Whatever. Khalil, don't touch it. Okay. Just right here. Thank you. When we analyze the statement, we need to find out who is the one who is the one to raise the question or to raise this issue. okay, let's build a tower because we have a bricks and we have a tar, right? I think back that time, knowledge is mostly controlled only for priests, noble families within those kind of groups. And so for people who raise the question is to raise this issue, to need to build a tower to communicate with the gods, to lift our name, something. I think it could be the priest, high priest, talk to the king. Why? Let's see, like a previous chapter, God start to dramatically reduce humans' life maximum 120 years, right? But Noah, his family, his kids, his descendants still live much longer than normal people. So definitely when you are long lived, and they definitely became the symbol, became the priest, became the one, those king or those noble family, they want to listen. Why? Because the ultimate goal to attract people is not to die, to live longer. And those rich family, those kings, they willingly to put much more money towards that direction. So for the priest, what do they have to attract, to kind of lure those peoples? Well, we can pray for the God, we can pray, get you a long life, right? And they can get what? They can get more money, more wealth, more feast. So just like a modern church, modern mega church, they teach you eternal life. But you know what? They drove Mercedes. No, even Mercedes even drove like a Lamborghini. They have like $1 million like a salary. They live a mansion, like a. So those are like a divine job is a really good job. It's a really good job to. So, but the only thing they need to master about it, they need to good about it, they need to attract you is to talk about. They can give you long life, long living. That's the only thing they good at, only thing they need to good at. And I think that's the purpose of to build a tower, build a big tower, and to do the sacrifice, to do whatever, all kinds, that's the purpose. Also, the side effect is, in ancient time, to do a sacrifice, especially such big scale sacrifice, it's not like one day thing. It's not like a 2 day thing. It might last for 10 days, 20 days. So when you raise the fire at the top of the tower, right, the smoke will like lift high and high. In the surrounding 100 miles, 200 miles people, they will notice. They will start to spreading the gospel. Oh wow! Also, people that time, a lot of people they don't have a belonging. After the flood, after there is no community, they just live scattered over the land. So if they see this such big smoke, definitely human or something activity, right? Kind of like a butterflies fly towards the lights, and the dog and the fly love go to the poo-poo, you know, dog love a bone. That's our nature. People will walking towards that direction. That's their holy land. They will go find out what's going on. And people, in these 10 days, slaves surround the tower just start to like a chanting, start to like get killed one by one. The blood will pouring in the pool. It's really crazy, like a scene. Yeah, that's I think I'm gonna finish talk about the tower itself. Let's go next sentence. So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. Yeah, that's the Tower Babel story. From that, I noticed a couple things. Firstly, we do not intend to solve the issue together. Or should I say, if any issue happened, we try to keep the distance. Why? Right here, Lord scattered them over, right? But when people, their language changed, they don't understand each other, they cause any issues. None of them like to stick together, stay together, sit down to solve the issue. Instead of that, they keep distance, go over somewhere. So try to avoid the conflict first. So kind of like a human being, give me some space, safety space. Yeah. Unless there is no safety space, or unless there is no space available, then we have to fight. Fist fight, country fight, economy fight, all kinds of things. Also another kind of I got from this sentence is, I remember there is one Arabic story, 1001 Nights, right? There is one guy called Simba. He had a dream. He dreamed about that there is a big treasure, a pearl or something. In the dream, God asked him to give to him. So he traveled the whole world. Looking for the house, looking for the place, just where it is. Try to find a treasure. Nothing happened. After 10 years, after 20 years, when he came back to his old house, he found out there's treasure. So it's kind of, we do not intend to seek things inside. We intend to seek things outside. That's our habit. Yeah. I would say language is a very powerful tool. Why? Because that word, God and the heavens together to do it. Think about it. The first thing God asked heaven's help to do is create a human. And that's a big thing, right? To confuse the language, the same like create a human, because God cannot do himself. He need to ask, let us to do it. Get the permission, get other people's power, and so language is a very important thing. Even it may lead you to the wrong direction, but it still puts you on the path, puts you moving. Yeah, it's one language will help us plan whatever we plan to do. Nothing impossible. That's God's language. What is nothing impossible? Think about it. Just we can reach the heaven, we can overthrow the heaven, we can be equal like a God. But it has to be planned. Plan, it's a sequential things. It's a sequential things, and it's a group things, because it not only required detail, it requires strategy. It requires like a multi-domain like this. So I think right now AI and computer help us understand more and help us achieve that goal. Tower of Babel from 8 to 9 just talk about God doesn't want we get together. No, he never like people group together. Maybe a small unit, some church called congregation, whatever. And in the New Testament talk about the disciples had to get together because kind of like a log fire, whatever. No, it's just temporary things, temporary, very small scale. So I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that like a mega church or those kind of big things is he really like it, because he wants diversity. He wants separation. He doesn't want you to get together. That's I think that's his character. Here from Shem to Abram, a lot of like family trees. I'm not ready to break down these names and how old they give birth, whatever. Yeah, even there is maybe some meaningful things, but we can see the pattern is people getting the lifespan getting shorter, and then they give birth early, about 30, right? And also, I start to question. Kind of remember at the beginning I said like a kind of milk with orange juice or milk with poison things, right? So same thing like a Bible, even okay, they say it's God's breath, right? But actually it came from the what General Council. That's back to what 400, 600 BC, right? No, 400 AC. Yeah, that time made a Bible, Old Testament and the New Testament. So actually, it's under the surveillance of those dukes, those rich, powerful people. They called all the believer or all the workers put together, and they read through the logic, the coherence, the time they did all the editing job. You can call it God's breeze through them to make all those things happen. But you know what? I still believe this part is there is a chocolate in the milk, there is a orange in the milk, there may water in the milk or even poison in the milk. Yep. So here I think the family tree, I highly don't believe it. It's not God's breeze. The reason is like as follows. What kind of people really needs a family tree to claim the line is clear? Jesus is Abraham's descendant, right? And it's meaningless. For God, it's like a million years, 100 million years for his life. Who gives them about this, right? Only people live in this time, live within the time, and they need a social position. They need what? They need a family tree to claim they are legit, to claim they have a background, to claim they have a heritage. That's the family tree for. So the ways it write down like how many years, who give kids, live to up to how many years, whatever. It sounds like a yes man, kind of like, people with a very submissive, very a butler, these kind of tongue. So it's not God's tongue. So I care less about these couple sentence about the family tree. Yeah, that's what I believe. Also, I still think when I try to decode the Bible, yeah, I have some parts I have my short hands, right? I don't know certain language, I don't know certain archaeology, or I'm not a theology, even not a theology person. But I rather use my original thought from a new angle to see it. If the Bible said, as it said, you face Jesus yourself. He's the teacher. So you gain the hints, you gain the evolution, you gain those inspiration from heavens. You not gain from what? From Sunday school, from church, or from someone they think they have a theology degree. Yeah, because those things, maybe this metaphor is a little messy. I always say like this: you have the treasure inside of you. If you find the key, or the ways you're thinking, that's the way you're looking for the key to open the treasure. For other people, especially for those big, thick book and the big explanation or those commentary, those things, those are just some food residue, some food we ate. That's the residue of our thoughts. And if continually eat the residue of other people's thoughts, there's no difference than eating poo-poo. Yeah, that's what I think. My commentary, my thought about Bible is just a general hand pointed directions. Maybe my hand is a little rough, maybe not that clean, right? But I point the direction that say that's the direction. Kind of like if anyone saw the movie called Forrest Gump. Yeah, that's Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. And while he's running, he just started running towards one direction, from East Coast to West Coast, from West Coast to East Coast. It started running, and during the running, you may not find God. You don't need to find a God, because when you try to looking for God, the God you looking for, the God you found, is not the God. So that's, I highly agree what Pascal said. Every time he crying to looking for God in the field, and every time he found the God, and he cried left, because that's not the God. Okay, so I hope the ways I skip these couple sentences will not cause too much turmoil, chaos. It's just thinking process, a way of my thinking.